Hello buddy, Andy here again. Well, I had a conversation yesterday with some of my old social media friends, shall we say, on Twitter, and I thought I'd make a video about the whole thing because these are people that I've met through my time on social media and specifically YouTube, hence this video, and I thought I'd put it in this this type of output, if you want to put it that way, and people that I've consequently met as well because of this site as well, and in America as well, as it happens. And the conversation was all about what do we do next. You know, one of the particular people, I'm not going to name names, it's not fair on them, and quote or anything like that. It was a private conversation, although it was conducted on Twitter. So how private's that? But that's another story altogether, maybe. But one of the people has got this big project on, and they're thinking about what they're going to do next. And the whole conversation was going on about how we got into this and what right have we got to spout all this stuff out, and who, you know, and who wants to watch all this type of thing. But as I pointed out, you know, with these videos, with anything that I do social media wise and put out there, this has given me an outlet to do it. I'll probably come to that in a minute. But no one's got to watch this. No one's got to listen to or read anything that I write or speak about or whatever. You know, you don't have to find. It's not like the TV when you turn it on, it's already there. You know, you sort of have to search these things out. But the whole tone of the conversation, one of the things that struck me about this and the way that people were talking, myself included, was that realisation that social media has really got under my skin and under the skin of the other two people that I was talking about. And we are relatively older people. I'm the oldest amongst them, but we're talking people who are around about 40 up to my age in my 50s as well. So we're not the sort of generation that social media is really getting hold of, if you see what I mean. We're the sort of, we were fairly early adopters. I'm approaching, and I find this amazing, I'm approaching my 6-year anniversary here on YouTube. And I think, you know, that makes me sort of, it's a mind bog when I know I say that every single year, that every year goes past, and I tend to make like an anniversary video, if you want to put it that way, and it still amazes me, and I'm still here, and so are the other guys as well. They're still there, although, as I said before in other videos, I don't want to go over old ground, but people got into YouTube, they discovered that type of thing, and it sent them off in other directions. Sometimes it's something that they were doing before because they're sort of artistic people and they were already doing artistic things. YouTube just gave them another string to their bow, shall we say, but they're still doing it. They're still doing something that's tied up with social media in one way or another. Even if they're creating something outside, they're sharing it on YouTube, on Flickr, or, you know, Twitter, or whatever it might be, and it sent them and me in other directions. Personally, I don't think I was doing anything specifically like this before the social media side of things come along, before I discovered YouTube all those years ago. I think I'd started dabbling with Blogger and things like that, and it never really worked out. I still do that. I still write some blogs. I go in waves as to doing certain things. The one constant tends to be YouTube, where I keep making videos. I do write blogs occasionally. I still use my blog. I even set up a social media journeys blog some time ago, about the time I lost my job a couple of years ago, I suppose, but trying to sort of track all this. I've let that go because, you know, as one of the people pointed out in that conversation, we're all finding our way with this type of thing. It's new to us, especially, as I said, we're the older people, so we've experienced what went before as well, the analogue age, should we say, as opposed to the digital age. So we're finding our way. It's all new, it's exciting, and we're trying out different sites. Some work, some don't. We try out different ways of doing things. Some work, some don't, you know, and we get interested in things. You know, you get that burst of enthusiasm for things. I've started off on so many different sites. I was on Pinterest for a while. I'm still there, but for me sometimes they become a website too far. You get that little burst of enthusiasm, but there's always the constants that sit there. And I was reading something else the other day about social media, and if you have one site and you could only leave one site, what would it be? And this particular person said Twitter, and I can understand that because you share all your other things on Twitter. Yes, Facebook's a good one as well, and we've probably got our own ones, but we've come to rely on these so much, and this was another person saying that as well. So there you go. It's hopefully a fairly quick video, just sort of thinking about that, a sort of sudden realisation that no matter where we're going, we're thinking about what we're going to do next. I'm still scribbling things down and thinking about what I could do. No real plan as such, but as the person said, we're finding our way, we're finding our feet. But the realisation is this, over that 6-year period, or whatever the period is for the other guys, and I know it's a similar sort of time span as well, is that this has got under our skin. It's got us thinking, it's given us an avenue to do lots of things, and it's given us ideas and sent us out in other avenues as well. And maybe then you come back to something else to share all your work, your artistic processes. And I think that's something that this has given us, especially me. It's given me an outlet for this type of thing, and I think it has to others. And you can share it, and you know, the people see what you're doing. And as I said before, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. You can just turn it off. But the other point is, if us slightly older people, not quite silver surfers, but we're getting in that sort of slight direction, imagine what it's going to be for the younger people who are growing up with this technology, who are growing up in the digital age, in the social media age. Just think how they will be using it in the future. They're using it now and discovering new things. It's not new to them. You know, they don't have to learn it. It's intuitive. They just sort of go in there and they start playing with things. You know, you probably got kids. You may well have kids yourself, and they sort of grab their phone. Oh, yeah, Dad, I'll sort that out. And they don't worry about it. You see these videos and things of young babies playing, or small children playing on iPads and things like that. They have got no fear of it. They don't worry about it. They just get out there and they do it. And that's quite exciting in that way. So it hasn't got to get under their skin. It's part of their skin. If you want to know, they're growing into it all the time. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on that, what your little social media journey is, and whether you feel it is something that's got under your skin. It's not for everybody. I totally understand that. And I see this with people that I mix with online. Over years, some people have just disappeared altogether. They're not there. Even if they are on Facebook or something, which is a slightly different scenario, I think, they're not on there very much. So their lives have taken a different turn. As I said, we try things, they don't work for some people, they work for others. It certainly worked for me. It's got under my skin, and I'm just interested and quite excited actually as to what the future might hold, what ideas might come up, and which avenue or new site that might come along gives me something to think about and something to share my thoughts and all this rubbish that I spout. And even people watch it, you know. Anyway, I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.